In this short video, we want to tell you about how you can use PeerWise to learn more effectively and efficiently. The PeerWise system is based on a body of accepted research in how people learn. It shows regular testing improves learning compared to just studying. Specifically, people are better at remembering things the more frequently and effortfully they practice. PeerWise is designed to help you practice effortfully by engaging you in both writing and answering questions, like the kind you might be asked on an exam. Because PeerWise is an online tool, you can control how frequently you use it, but we'll give you some advice on that in just a minute. Research in how people learn shows that learning requires effort. This is because to learn something, you must actually change your brain by growing neurons and building proteins. Effectively learning involves two steps: generating understanding and retrieving learned information. Generation involves actually putting effort into thinking for yourself what you will need to know, compared to just passively reading a textbook or listening to lecture. How can you do this? Let's look at a simple example. In a study of people looking at 60 pictures, those people that effortfully generated understanding of what they just saw by listing all the pictures they could remember were able to remember more of those pictures 1 week later than those people who just passively looked at them. PeerWise is a tool to help you learn generatively in a way that may help you on exams. When you log on to PeerWise, the first thing you should do is create a question. You should think about what you've been learning recently in class, and what kinds of questions could the instructor ask to see if you knew that. Then write the question in a clear way. Work out the answer, and work out a few other answers you think are likely mistakes or misunderstandings that others might have. Maybe it's something you have struggled with. However, while generating a question is useful, you can get a deeper understanding through elaboration, another term from studies of human learning. The more you elaborate on your knowledge, the more deeply you will really understand it. In PeerWise, one of the ways you can elaborate is by writing a thorough and clear explanation of your question and its answer. Even better, students using PeerWise report the best explanations include not only why the right answer is right, but also why the wrong answers are wrong. The other key to learning involves retrieval of information you know. In learning something new, perhaps by reading the book, attending a lecture, or writing a PeerWise question, you create the beginnings of a network by which you attach this information into your brain. However, to enable you to get at that information, maybe on an exam, you need to reinforce those networks, making them wider and easier to find. In PeerWise, you can do this by answering questions written by your fellow students. Having a huge set of practice questions is one of the things students like best about PeerWise. Yeah, we know most students don't do much question answering until just before the exam. However, cognitive psychology research shows that testing repeatedly in a way that is spaced out over time greatly improves your learning. Here we see how long it took British postal system workers to learn some new keyboarding skills using differently spaced training. Those workers who trained only 1 hour a day, the green bar, took the least number of total hours to learn their new skills. Those who did it in a more massed way, 2 times a day for an hour each time, or 2 hours straight per day, took longer. The worst were those people cramming, studying 2 hours a day, 2 times per day. It took them almost 50% longer. So use PeerWise regularly in shorter bursts. Don't just cram intensively the day or the week before the exam. In fact, it's incredibly valuable to practice again questions you already did and got right. You want to build that path to retrieval wide and clear so you can effectively retrieve that information during an exam. While you are answering questions, PeerWise also gives you another opportunity to elaborate on or deepen your knowledge, which we said earlier was important. How? Rate and comment on the questions you answer. If you write a comment just restating the explanation in your own words, you will likely deepen your understanding of it, and maybe it will help other students by providing a clear explanation for them. Why should you use PeerWise? Writing questions on PeerWise will help you figure out what you need to know. Practicing online with a huge set of sample questions will help you remember what you need to know on an exam. We hope that PeerWise is a tool that will be useful to you. We've built it to help you practice techniques that have been proven to lead to improvements in learning and remembering. But just remember, PeerWise is your resource. PeerWise is built by students for students. The quality of the questions, explanations, and comments depends on you and your fellow students. So build yourself a useful tool and give high ratings to others who do so too.